Hey, good evening, guys. It's me, Jessy, with the Gathering of Shadows, and I'm here with the
What did I put
mystical
today?
misfit of my life.
Yes. You are welcome. The mystical misfit here, Ginger.
Yeah, yeah,
Welcome you guys all. We're excited to see you
yeah.
tonight. Or hear you. Wave at you.
Uh,
Blow you
we
kisses.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, um, before we get started with our show this evening, which is going to be pretty interesting, because I've had a lot of people ask about it and how to do it. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to a few people who are sharing our content, starting it out. Tobias, who is part of the Brotherhood of Witches, he's actually shouted us out quite a bit, and as well as Chris Stant with Blue Paranormal, I believe Mountain Blue Paranormal. So I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. They have been sharing our content like crazy, and Ish the Grey Witch, I do want to give him a shout out as well. He has been a huge support of our show and really sharing our content as well. And everybody out there, really, we are growing, we're getting subscribers, and I I don't know about you, but I'm truly thankful. This is taking off a lot more than what I anticipated. And yeah, so I'm
I
thank you, thank
honestly,
you.
it is such a shock to me because I really thought, we're just two
Yeah,
ladies sharing our thoughts and doing stuff that we love. And, if we get one or two followers or anybody watching it at all, cool.
right. Yeah,
So, yeah, the
yeah,
fact that people are actually listening and watching, that is
yeah.
amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I agree too.
See?
And I have to give a shout out to, Pocatello Paranormal Research, and they've helped me grow and really find who I am as a person and my gifts. And so I have to give a shout out to them, because without them, I wouldn't have grown to what I'm doing today. So yeah, I gotta have to give them
Thank
some
you to
props,
everyone.
because yeah, yeah. So,
What are we
well,
talking about today?
I it's been crazy. First of all, Memorial Weekend. Thank you to all
Mm,
those who have served, are still serving. This is a huge thing. There's so many lives lost for something that we truly believe in. And if it wasn't for them, we would not be a nation and a country that we are today. So thank you.
very true.
Also, you know,
Very true.
it's a
S-
Memorial Day.
yeah. And, like I said on your post on that you put out earlier, like I have a grandfather that was in World War I or World War II, and my great grandfather was in World War I,
Yeah.
his grandfather. So they helped bring our country to where we are today. And I'm very grateful
Oh,
for their service
yeah.
and our
Yeah.
freedom.
It's very important that we give acknowledgement, no matter what you believe. Um,
Right.
so, yeah. Anyway, with that, I think we are going to talk about astral travel. And
Ooh,
astral travel, I have done it a handful of times. I've had a few experiences myself that kind of made me kind of question a lot of things, I guess you could say. Uh, my first time was very frightening to me. Like I really, it was crazy, and I didn't really believe that I could do that. I think when you start getting to comfortable with yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, that you really do surprise yourself and what the human mind can actually do for them. Um,
yeah. How old were
I
you?
my first time, I really was probably between 11, 12. Um, I think at the time, and I guess skeptics could say too, but it was maybe a way for me to escape my reality in a way.
Yeah.
There was a handful of personal issues going on with myself and with family life. And that's when I really learned how to start meditating. Um, of course, when you're a teenager, what do? You lie in bed all the time, right? So, but that's also when I really started digging into music. Music has been part of my life all my life. My dad listened to music all the time. My mom, my grandfather was a huge music collector. And so, you know, yeah, he was a big part of my life on learning music to help me.
So music kind of played a part in.
Absolutely. Music plays a part even now in my life. It really gets me into when I go into a walkthrough or an investigation or I'm trying to read some,
Mhm.
it really helps me connect to my spirit. Now, some people can do it without music, and I really would like to learn how to do that. But in order for me to quiet my mind and not think of my conscious mind that and have those negative voices, I guess you could say, I
Yeah.
really have to use that focus. Um, what do you use? I mean, what do you use music?
I use meditation, like very deep
Mhm.
meditation, and for some relaxation techniques um, to just help you um, really let your body rest so that you can. I don't know. It's like you move on from. I don't know how to describe it, but my body has to
Mhm.
be really relaxed, really calm, really comfortable. Um, and I'm not very talented at it. I haven't done it a whole bunch of times, so but I have a couple of
Y-
interesting
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what a lot of people are like, well, what is the goals of this astral travel? Well, we use it basically to define ourselves, to grow closer to our ancestors, to grow closer to earth and God or whatever you believe in. And it's an idea, it enters conscious exploration, basically. And ancient Egypt used this a lot, Hindu traditions, Tibetan, Greek, Greek. I love Greek history and Greek mythology. Um, I think that's where they connected a lot with the gods and the goddesses. Vikings have used it. Indigenous, spiritual, and native peoples have used this as well to grow connection with their animal spirits or whatever they want to grow to. Um,
Yeah.
we feel like commonly the sensation when we do astral travel is there's a lot of lucid dreaming. At least in my case, I have a lot of dreams. My stuff, um, I do project a lot to a few places, but mine is the big redwood, blah, 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 the trees, like the big giant trees. I feel very connected there. Just because we have to remember that these trees are, wow, how old? Probably as
Ancient.
old as Earth, ancient. And
Yeah.
so that's where a lot you can connect with the spirits and elementals. I do believe in earth elementals.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I went back looking at our videos, and there was no reason for this glitch in my camera. And I didn't see it until later when I got home. And I seen this glitch, and I'll have to post it again, but it was at the trees and we were doing the walk of the giants basically. And when I panned over, I wanted to get my whole goal was to get the birds because I use that sometimes to listen to help me project. It's just so that way I can grow closer with the spirit there, or Mother Earth, or whatever I want to grow close to. I do believe there's a lot of spirits within each living being, like, you know, the trees, for instance. I believe that each one of those trees have their individual spirit. They're rooted, they're planted, they're within the ground, and it's really important that we understand that as spiritual people. Anyway, but that's where I go. There's a handful others. I have had that floating feeling. One dream that I just recently had, and it is to me astral projection as well, is I was floating. The best thing about it is flying. I don't know. Have you flown in your dreams?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, had a really hard time falling asleep. You know, I have ADHD, blah, blah, blah. My brain
Mm-hmm.
travels a million miles a minute. And my mom taught me some tricks to how to help myself sleep. And also because I used to have terrible nightmares, like the
Yeah.
most horrific nightmares starting at a very young age. Things that a kid my age would have never seen happening in my dreams. And so my mom taught me relaxation techniques, and I had to use those techniques and teach myself with my dreams on how, because I couldn't get out of the dreams. I couldn't wake myself up from the dreams. They were very real, very terrifying. So I gave myself superpowers in my dreams.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I taught myself was how to fly. So I could jump over tall buildings like a superhero. I could fly over the trees. I was super fast, like I could jump a million miles in the air, because all these things helped protect me from the monsters that were always trying to get me. It was always monsters. It was always like vampires or werewolves or the thing in the closet. Always,
Yeah.
always those things. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that fly feeling.
Yeah. I like it. I like to fly because you're right. It makes you feel like you have more control.
Hmm.
Although there's a handful of times where I feel like I was going to fall on my face, but you you get that definite floating feeling. There is nothing like it. I mean, unless you're riding like a what do you call those? Those rides at, you know, at a park, and
Yeah,
you know,
like roller coasters when you get to the
yeah,
top.
like roller coasters, and that's what it feels like. It's just,
Yeah, it's that
and
air,
then you
that
have the dreams of
weightless.
falling, so
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I used to force myself to have that dream when I was a kid because I loved the falling off the cliff was amazing. Like that,
mhm.
just that air free feeling of falling off the cliff. And then the landing where you always knew you'd bounce back into your bed. I loved that as a kid. That was just so entertaining to me to make myself do that at night.
Yeah, yeah, it is entertaining, and I think people who can do that on a daily basis is very awesome, because I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do it all the time. Me too.
Yeah. Now, when you have these astral projections and where you choose to go, or universe, in this case with this dream that I had, they definitely wanted to show a lot of symbolism. I can't tell you how important it is to journal your dreams and to journal your astral projection on what happened, because you can come back later and read it and then go, oh yeah, now I know why I had that dream. Now I know what these symbols mean, and the meaning of whatever you're doing, the dreaming or the astral projection. Um, to me, within this particular dream, I do remember going over this rocky landslide, or not landslide, but it was kind of like cliche, but like a Scottish Highland area. And I remember flying. I did see a lot of runes that I remember, and they were the, the symbols and the sigils. Did I pay attention to what the sigils were saying? No, but if I see one, it'll probably click with me.
Yeah, later.
And then I do remember I was floating, and there was a forest, and there was this meadow, and it had yellow flowers underneath me. And I literally was just floating. I didn't feel anything bad. I felt like the fog or the cloud was protecting. It was almost like a protecting shield for me.
That's cool.
And it was the
Pardon.
coolest experience that I've ever had. I mean, I've had a handful of things, but it was interesting. And one thing about it when you do astral projection is make sure they call it like a tethering line, like a silver line. And with
Yes.
the silver line, or some people envision it as a rope or whatever, but this is so that way your body or your soul knows where your body is, so you don't get lost.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually, um, because of the experience that I had when I was a kid, I've been
mhm,
very afraid to try like astral projection, where you purposely try to make yourself go
mhm,
someplace else, because I didn't know how to get back in my body. And and so I was watching some stuff, and I followed a lady that she talks about going to the Akashic records
mhm.
and learning from your past lives. And she suggested that you use little crystals by your bedside, like little animal figurines or whatever. You put two or
Yeah,
three of them out there, and you use one in particular to connect your body to, so that you always know that that's there right by your body to come back to. And so I actually bought some because I really wanted to try it again and see if I could
yeah,
learn it again. Yeah,
yeah. And it does take practice. I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. If there's somebody
right.
that out there that has done it overnight, please let me know, because it's,
Yeah, I'd like to know what it takes.
yeah. Well, and we as humans, our mind is constantly busy. Like we have stuff that happens through the day, through the evening, or vice versa. If somebody works during the night, I mean, it's hard to get your mind, and I'm bad at it. It's hard to get your mind to really get in that mindset to do it in the waking moments. And I think it's
Yeah.
cool when people can do that, because I have to do it in my dreams. It's because my mind is so the crazy, messy Jessy is shut down, and the more spiritual, I think it's a way for me to really ground myself as well. I think
Well, and I
because we
think
don't.
sleeping, like that relaxation time specifically,
Mhm.
helps you,
Yeah,
really relax your body, which I think you really have to do.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then on top of being sensitive, even though I place like boundaries, sometimes there are some spirits that don't know about boundaries. and
Yeah.
and and they do like to come through, and then those are nights where I can't sleep, because
Yeah.
do I tell them to leave me alone? Yeah, I do. But do they listen? No, sometimes they
Not
don't.
always.
Not always. It just depends on the day. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So for those people that want to learn how to start learning how to astral project, or even to do it more in your dreams, and you really want to try, one thing about it is relax your body. Lay down. You don't have to do a pose of everything up in your, I to me that's odd. And if people could do that, that's cool. I'm glad that you could do that, because I feel like I look stupid.
Yeah.
Mainly because
Well, when you get old, it's hard to do crisscross applesauce and put your like
Well,
hands out there
yeah.
and
I
hold
mean,
still and
really,
like
it's like,
be
really?
comfortable. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how they do it. I couldn't do
Yeah. Well, plus, I think really skinny people could do it, but I digress.
it.
I'm not skinny. So,
Whatever. You're beautiful.
yeah. And, learning your grounding techniques. I did a post not too long ago about the grounding techniques and how to ground yourself. One thing about Reiki masters, those are really good people to go see to help you learn how to ground and clear out some blockages within your body and your soul and your mind. I can't tell you, I've visited a couple of them a handful of times, and it does help, especially if I had a really bad investigation, and I need to go and reset myself. Build healthy expectations. Don't expect you to get messages all at once. Universe doesn't work that way. Universe wants you to really work on what you need to learn, because not everything is handed on a silver platter. It comes in pieces, it comes in spurts. And we talked about deja vus. That's when deja vus come in. When you see signs and symbols and realization, especially if you're going through something hard in your life or you're going through something good in your life,
Yeah.
this will help you figure out what you need to achieve within yourself, because we all have to work at that, especially if it's a good thing, or even if it's our shadow self. Shadow self, we've talked a handful of times about it. Shadow
Mhm.
self helps you learn the dark aspects of your soul, of your spirit, because without that, you're not going to be able to learn and
Right.
fully understand what you're trying to learn when you're, traveling or trying to do these travels. Um, Again,
So do
you
you
can
have
dim the lights. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I'll let you finish. I was just going to
No,
ask you if you've had like a specific one that you could talk about that happened.
like,
Like a specific experience for you that you've done it with astral projection.
oh yeah. Well,
I
this
said like
was
you could talk about it.
you can talk about it. The one experience for me was a few years after my father had passed away. My auntie has passed away. I was very, very close with them too, and um, I got super close with my father towards the end of his life. Me and my father, I'll put it out. It was a hard life for us. My parents did the best they could. Um, I kept a lot of my abilities to myself just because my father at the time was not acceptable of it. It wasn't because he wasn't accepted of it. I think he was more afraid of it,
Right.
and he didn't understand. And I truly believe now that my father definitely, I think he had abilities. It is a family thing. I don't think he knew what to do with it. I think he
Yeah.
shut it out a lot. Anyway, in order to help my grief is when I really started to sit down with it and start to learn to visit. To me, astral projection is where I use that to go and visit my father, and where I would go and visit my aunt, because I feel like that was no way within my abilities. I cannot talk to my family. I I don't care what they were to me, a cousin, distant cousin. It's just that block. And there are a handful of mediums who can't do that, you know. And if they
Yeah.
can, cool.
I've
Uh,
I've heard that before from mediums
yeah,
saying that they can't connect with
but
their
this is
family members.
yeah, yeah, and this was how I was able to project myself to go and visit them in the special place that is special to me. And it's where they give me advice, and it's where they give me the strength of what I need. And sometimes I do feel that they give me lessons that I don't want to hear, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so I would say that's probably a lot of like I still do it today if I need to get in more control of who I am and who and where I come from, if that makes sense. And this is where I get in a handful of my ancestors and um, my spirit guides. It's kind of, yeah, that's really what I use and how to calm myself. So I guess that's kind of none of an experience, but I don't know.
That's funny.
it, yeah,
Well, and I think maybe because you do it more frequently, that maybe one of them doesn't stick out over the rest of
yeah, yeah. I think that one does,
them.
and then the one that I talked about when I was floating in the air.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, there was another time, but that's, you know, it helped me figure out who I am. And in this particular time and place, it was like an initiation, if you must say. Not initiation. I hate saying that because that's not what it was, but it was more of this guides and my ancestors were around me. And I clearly remember them saying, she's ready.
oh
She's
wow,
ready. She's ready to do this. And so
that's
that's
cool.
when I started getting more in touch with things. And and this will help people like when they want to try to get in touch with who they are, and it builds their character, it builds their spirit when they're doing this, no matter what. And if you're again a beginner and you want to learn that, that's what your ultimate goal is. What is your goal on when you want to do this astral projection, or when you want to have these visit visits to another place where your soul truly believes that you belong?
Gotcha.
It can belong on top of a building in front of or on top of Los Angeles for all I care, you know. Yeah.
Wherever you gotta go. Oh,
Wherever you gotta go.
have you ever been able to travel to well, like you said, you were like you felt like you were in Scotland, right? Do you think
Hmm.
you were? Do you think you were actually visiting other places like that, like other
Oh
countries?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had I love Ireland. I've had a connection there, and I know, but Scotland for some reason for me was like crazy, like home for me. It was weird. And then Romania.
Oh yeah.
I've always had this connection with Romania, and not, the Dracula castle or anything, but there's a certain meadow there that I I like going to. There's no reason. I don't know where it's at, but the forest there is crazy connected to me. So, and I try to take a handful of going to both, I guess.
Yeah.
But sometimes I really go back to the trees. I think a lot of it is they're so connected, and we have to remember, like a billion years ago, all these lands were connected at one time.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so it's just, I'm connected with a handful of things, but trying to really nail down what I really truly love is hard to choose because I love all of it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, my I talked to my brother when I was telling him that we were going to talk kind of about this topic about astral projection, and he actually, when he was young, he ran away from home when he was like 15,
Hmm.
and he went with one of his friends who was native, and they went to Nevada and lived on a reservation there, on reservation land there, and he learned a lot of his skills through native ways, a lot of
Yes.
like medicine man type things. And he actually can astral project intentionally. Um, he's talked about it several times about having the string from his head, from his body that he can see to his spiritual body. And that's what keeps him connected. And he says when he
Mhm.
wants to go home, he just has to tell himself, I'm ready to go home. I need to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And he'll just like back into his body.
Yeah.
And he's I think he's practiced it for a lot of years, and he does it all the time.
Yeah.
Which I wish I was that talented. I'm not, but maybe someday.
Yeah. Well, and that we talked about that silver rope. He's very
Yeah,
trained on having that silver thread and making sure
yeah,
that we know. I always think it's like, okay, I've got this rope tied around me, you know? It's like a mountain climber and they got all this rope and they're like, "Don't fall there, Jeff."
yeah.
So,
Don't fall, Jeff. Look
don't
out
fall, Jeff.
below.
Don't fall, Jeff.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
I mean, it's really cool. A lot of things that can also hinder too, you know, and not we talked about busy mind, anxiety and fear. There is a lot of fear, and that you also question yourself about, is this really truly happening? Because where I was brought up, it was your imagination, SpongeBob.
Yes, absolutely.
But is
Yep,
it
me
really
too.
truly your imagination? I mean, I know there was a handful of times where I pretended to be somewhere else other than where I physically was.
Yeah.
That to me was comforting.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess maybe some people can say that it was just a survival technique. Probably. I will agree with that. But how can I explain or tell my mom certain things that I wouldn't even know about?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
how did
interesting,
you know
isn't it?
that? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think for me, my I actually talked to my mom about this the other day, and me and my brother were talking about it, but she was there.
Mhm.
She's very uncomfortable. Like me and my brother are like, oh, we love like scary stuff, and we like talking about like all this spiritual stuff that that we're capable of, and we can really
Mhm.
connect that way. Him and I like him and myself and my little sister are all gifted in different ways, but all definitely gifted. And my mom, as we're talking about this, she pipes up and says, I hate talking about this stuff. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
about this stuff. I'm like, why, mom? Why? What is it that you think? You know? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. I said, I know. I know exactly why she's afraid. She had a grandmother that was a practitioner, and
Mhm.
she uh, her it was her dad's mom, and her mom's mom was forever telling them how dangerous it was, how they should never touch her stuff, that they needed to be super careful, that they should never touch, don't touch Ouija boards, don't touch tarot cards. She won't even let us bring
Yeah.
tarot cards into the household. She's so afraid.
Yeah.
And I know that's why she's afraid, is I think her mom put that fear in her because of their religious beliefs that was
Yeah.
evil. And so, um, but I know that my grandpa's mom was a practitioner, and she was a healer, and she had a back room that she'd keep locked away from the children so that they couldn't go in there. And she had a Ouija board in there, which is, for kids, you don't want them touching your spiritual stuff. You really don't, because you don't know what can happen to them. You don't know how they'll connect with it.
Yeah.
So it's just safer. But I know now a lot more about why, when I was young and experiencing things, that she would like, oh, you just have a huge imagination. You're just
Yeah.
such an imagination. You're such a so you can pretend so well. So I know that was a part of my life, And I had so I've never been specifically capable of astral projection, but um, I have had out of body experiences. Have you ever experienced it like an actual out of body experience outside of like making yourself travel to someplace?
Oh yeah. I mean, um, I think
Like when you're looking
I don't
at your
know.
body and you're like, why is it doing
I
that?
yeah. I think there was a handful of times that I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Um, once when I was, I think, between the ages 7 or 8. I don't know if it was like a out of body experience or if it was like a near death experience, but
Oh,
I I think I talked about this with Pocatello Paranormal on one of
oh,
the shows.
the swimming
Uh,
pool.
yeah, the swimming pool.
Yeah.
I was swimming, I hit my head, and next thing I know, I was looking up and I seen my body floating in the pool.
Oh, wow.
And I
That's
was
crazy.
looking down at it, and then I woke up and my grandpa was pulling me out of the pool. I'm surprised I didn't have like a cracked open head or anything like that. Like I don't even know what happened.
You're lucky.
Yeah. And then the last one that I clearly remember was in 2014. And at the time, I was very ill. We couldn't figure out what was going on. I was having bloody noses all the time. My blood pressure was high. You couldn't figure out what was going on. And I had a cold on top of everything. So that mixture probably didn't help much either. So I get out of the shower and I'm like, I got to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. I can't get my nose to stop bleeding. Something is not right. So uh, I will say that I did turn gray when I was in the
Oh, wow.
emergency room.
That's
My
scary.
heart rate up to 220 miles per
Mm.
hour, whatever. That's what it feels
Beats
like.
per minute? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like miles per hour. Okay, that to me, that's miles per hour. That's what it felt like. Um,
That's funny.
and they had to give me
Gotcha.
some medicine basically to stop my heart,
Yeah.
to get it to reset again. But it was the type of medicine that they gave you. It wasn't the one they gave you to shock you, like to put you out and then shock you. It was one where it slowly lowered your heart rate to where it was almost stopped.
Oh,
Well, I
wow.
coded.
Oh, that's
And
scary.
I remember looking at my body for a split second and, you know, I heard this was probably maybe that had maybe one or two times that I've heard my dad's voice because he said, it's not time, get back in there.
Love that. It's amazing how they
And
can protect you when you're
he's
at
like,
a
get
risk of
back in
yourself.
there. And that's what I remember,
That's
you know.
crazy.
And that was
That
one
is-
of the most memorable times of my life. And that's when I knew that there is something, obviously I know, but there is something beyond this life.
Yeah.
They are watching you. They are protecting you. You just have to be able to open yourself enough, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And listen, really listen.
mhm. What's yours? You were
So,
going to tell me about
yeah,
yours.
so I had an experience when I was a young child. I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think I was probably between, I don't know, 7 and 11 years old, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, I had gone to my grandmother's house with my mom. And were spending the night down there. And I had twin uncles that had twin beds in their room. And we were sleeping in their room this night. And my mom got me all tucked in bed, cozy and everything. And she went to bed on the other side. And I remember doing the relaxation techniques that she taught me. Like she would teach me, you breathe in really, really deep, And as you let it out, you feel your body sinking into the bed, and you go one body part at a time. Like you start at your feet and you feel them sink. And you can physically feel them sink if you pay attention.
Right.
And you do that body part by body part until you get to your head. And usually by the time I would get to my head, I'd be asleep. And I had to do this all the time when I was a kid because I could not sleep. Sleep was nearly
Mhm.
impossible for me. And so I was doing this technique and I remember doing it. And then I remember all of a sudden I am floating on the ceiling. Stop. My dogs are barking.
Well, they have something to
Uh,
say about it too.
yeah. Um, anyway, I'm floating at the ceiling and I'm sitting like a crisscross applesauce in the ceiling, just sitting there, and I'm looking down on my body in this twin bed.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, this is interesting. How did I get here? What am I doing? And then my body gets up out of bed and I'm watching myself and I'm like, huh, let's see what happens. And so, oh, go upstairs, go, turkey. Um, so I'm watching myself and I get out of bed and I walk across the room to my mom and I ask her, I said, I'm cold. Where does grandma keep the blankets? And she said, well, I have one on the foot of my bed, or you can get one out of the cupboard in the hall. I was like,
Hmm.
okay. And so my body picked up this blanket and I walked back over to my bed and I crawled back in bed. And I went to sleep. And then that's when the fear hit for me. Like the true terror of, I don't know how I got here and how do I get back in? Like I remember thinking, I don't know how to get back in my own body. I know that's my body. I know it's me in the air, but how do I get back? And I was
Right.
really scared. And I was like, I just remember thinking, I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. And then the next thing I know, it was morning. And I woke up as a really confused little girl that morning. And my mom and my grandparents were out drinking coffee at the dining room table. I went out and talked to them. And my mom was like, hey, I'm like, what? She's like, do you remember sleepwalking last night? And I'm like, no, I don't remember. And she said, yeah, you got up in the middle of the night and walked across the room to me and said you were cold and that you wanted a blanket.
Hmm.
And and then once you got the blanket, you went back to bed and went right back to sleep. And it dawned on me that it wasn't a dream, that it wasn't my imagination, that really happened. And that's when I started to really pay attention to what was going on in my dreams. And I was
Yeah.
really young. I was really young. And that's where my dreams became kind of magical for me. Like I
Yeah.
really started to listen to what I'm doing and pay attention to what was going on around me. And that's when I started to teach myself, about the falling effect and the
Yeah.
and, and controlling my dreams and making things easier for my life so I could sleep. And I don't know, I guess that's probably the first time I really remember having any kind of experience that was like unusual, paranormal,
Yeah.
not typical. Um, besides just my weirdness of, seeing ghosts and all the other stuff that I did back
I
then, hearing voices.
Yeah. Do you think that being children and kids, because to me, we're so innocent, you
Hmm.
know, and I believe wholeheartedly that babies and children are still connected. They're still connected with the other side, very
Yeah,
much so.
I
And
absolutely agree.
yeah,
I really think that, like, I think the veil is thinner for them.
yeah,
I just really feel like they're more connected spiritually with the other side still. I think they have more of a connection to past experiences. Um, there really are really special things, or the littler ones, the little
yeah.
special babies.
I know. And
And
I
I,
just, oh,
how many
sorry, go ahead.
people how many people do you know that you've talked to that have gifts or abilities that found out when they were kids? Like for the most part, most of the people that I know of knew from a very young age.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I knew.
I don't.
I knew when I was 4, maybe, but I didn't understand what was going on,
Yeah.
you know. Um, I knew that I seen a few things, but again, I thought it was just my imagination. Even be 4-year-old, you have a good playful imagination, right? But
Right.
there was a handful of things that later in life my mom told me about, or my Aunt Joy, she's gone now, but she told
Yeah.
me a few things that happened. And so again, with having out of body experiences or astral projection, I think I do believe that children particularly do visit the other side more than what we realize.
Hmm.
I think it's their way of having connection with their family. And I think it's a way for them to, and even for us when we're older, I truly believe, I think it's just trying to figure out who we are. And then when we get older, then we get clouded and everything gets colluded
Busy.
and cobbled in our
Yeah.
brains, and we kind of lose sight of it.
Yeah.
And again, nothing against religion or religious practices, but in my situation as well, it was taboo,
Yeah.
completely taboo.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
talk about it.
Hmm.
My mom knew, but she didn't want to aggravate my father
Yeah.
because she also has abilities, and she's not as tapped into them as she would like to be, because she closed
Yeah.
them off for so long.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, and I came to find out that when I was talking to my mom the other day that my grandfather was gifted, my dad's dad, which I think is interesting. She said he uh, definitely believed, absolutely believed, and I almost wonder if maybe that's why he kind of took me under his wing.
Yeah.
He was always my guardian and my protector when I was young. He died when I was in my 20s, but he's still there, always
Yeah.
there, guiding me and protecting me. I think he's like I don't know, my my hero, my protector, guardian. I can see him in like armor protecting me, like
Yeah,
chainmail and
like
all
your
that.
knight in shining armor.
Yes, like my knight in shining armor. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why he took me under his wing, and I was his little favorite when I was little
Hmm.
too. So
Yeah.
as
It's
he
crazy.
knew, he saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. When I was kind of thinking about how we could teach the, um, people who want to do this, again, do what's comfortable for you and use music. I use music. If you want to go sit next to a river where it's just you, just make sure there's no bears. Carry bear spray. But I mean,
Water's
do
what I.
whatever. Yeah, and water is very soothing,
Mhm.
and nature is very soothing. Or if you want to sit under a tree and just think, it's just having that moment to yourself, and also go with anything that comes to your mind, not you thinking. Go with what you are seeing as far as images, or what you are feeling, because it is a feeling thing too. If you feel
And
like you want to cry, cry. There are
yeah,
reasons why you're feeling that. If you
yeah.
want to laugh, if you're angry and you just want to scream in the middle of a forest, do it.
And I think everybody has different ways of connecting. Like for you, you said it's music. For me, it's silence. Um, like complete silence and candlelight and meditation. Like I need that quiet. And I think because my brain is always so loud, I really need it to be really, really quiet to focus that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might do it with smells, like they might need incense,
Oh yeah.
or a candle that they like. That, sometimes that's what connects them is,
Yeah.
all of your senses help you in some way to connect. So
Yeah.
you pick what
I've
works for
heard of
you.
people using the candle magic and just focusing on the flame.
Yeah.
And you grow that connection with candle magic. And we're going to learn a lot about that here in a few weeks about candle
Cool.
magic and
I like that.
and all that. So yeah,
That's
it's
fun.
just, again, like whatever you feel like you want to connect with or how you connect. There is no wrong or right way to do it. It's how you feel.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
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 Wow. This was like, maybe we didn't get into a
Sorry.
lot of like, no, you're fine.
I've had a
Like
cold.
into you need to just put your face over a pot.
Hot steaming pot.
Hot steaming pot.
Actually, while we were out on our adventures day, my husband and I, up in the mountains, I brought home mullein. I'm like, I'm gonna take that home. I
Yeah.
need that right now. So another weed that I brought home on my adventures with my husband that he loves so much.
He does.
He's
And
like, my
thank God.
wife and my weeds, my wife and her weeds and flowers.
Someday I'll say that. My wife and not my wife.
Your weeds? You just want the
My
weed.
I just want the weed. I can't have it now, but I have to wait until I
Dang it.
retire, which is
Dang
20
it.
million years from now.
If ever, right?
If ever.
The way
I don't
retirement
know.
goes.
Yellowstone might blow up before then. We'll see.
I hope not.
I just want it to go fast. That's all I care about.
I just don't want to die like in Pompeii. Ah!
Right? I would probably be on the toilet. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, why not? It has to be the most inconvenient time possible.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Literally, both ways. You're awesome.
Stupid jokes. Stupid dad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another show coming up. We're going to try to get it done. That way we're kind of
Quickly.
ahead because I'm going to be
somebody
gone.
thinks they need to go on vacation.
I know. I'm excited because I am going to go on an adventure.
Yay.
Hopefully I'll come back. I'm going to go visit
With
a very
me.
special place to me that I did do a short video on for Montana. And it has been calling me quite a bit. And I'm hoping that I get the chance to go through there again so I can finally put to rest, for me anyway, and the connection that I have there. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
I love Montana.
Yeah.
There's some amazing, beautiful places there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And with that, guys, that's our show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We do have an email. It is spelled incorrectly on purpose because there's a lot of people who have similar names. And we have a Facebook now, so go hop on there, like, share us. We want to grow, want to continue our journey. We're going to have a lot of amazing guests coming up. We are completely busy, but if you are looking to be a guest with us here on Gathering in the Shadows, please send me an email, PM me on Facebook. We'll get it set up, what you want to talk about, because we're all a learning podcast. We want to grow and share our experiences regardless of what what we do. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
with that, do you have
please
anything?
reach out to us. No,
Yeah,
I'm excited. I think we have some fun, interesting, unique guests coming up, and I'm really excited about that. And I hope that we
I'm
invite
excited.
many more, because
Yeah,
that's the whole point of this, is to bring other people in.
yep, absolutely. And it's going to be amazing. So this is going to be an awesome journey. We're taking you with
Yay.
us.
I'm excited with you,
I
my
mean,
lovely
I
friend,
might have a rope and carry you
tugging,
along,
tugging me into it.
tugging. All right,
But I'll be
guys.
there.
Well, yeah, well, I'll just drag you. I don't know.
I might show up on the
And,
show with like duct tape over my mouth or something.
well, allegedly, okay. Allegedly.
Spiritual duct tape.
Spiritual duct tape.
There you go.
With that, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves first and then take care of others. Bye, guys.
Take care of you. Bye, guys.